Welcome back to my channel. If you are joining me, then you know that this is episode 7 of the first season of Heartland. This episode is titled Come What May, and it says Lou is left alone at Heartland when the pregnant mare, Melody, goes into labor. Lou calls in an eccentric old neighbor to help with the delivery. From what I've seen for the previous 6 episodes, Lou, of course, is not really that good on a farm. Hence, pretty much why she left. You know, she's good in business, which is why she calls herself a businesswoman. But I don't think she really considers herself to be too much of a farm girl. Even though, of course, she grew up on the farm. So she's probably going to have an issue, of course, with Melody going into labor. You know, it's probably going to create complications. But as I've said, you know, she's in the cast, so we know that she's not going anywhere. It's not like she's just in for 3 or 4 episodes and then goes back to New York and never sees her. And we never see her again. Excuse me. My cats are fighting. I apologize. As we know, Ty left for a bit and came back, of course. And speaking of Lou, she also lost her job in New York. Her boyfriend Carl came to kind of sweet talk her into taking a job in Chicago, and she said no to both of them. So she and Carl broke up, but she's probably going to end up getting together with that vet, Scott. And it looks like the father is getting closer to seeing his kids. You know, he helped save Amy when she fell off a horse. And again, I apologize for my cats. They are deciding to be ornery, but that's why they are, you know. They're cats, they're ornery. That's my tortie that you can see. Let's get started.
Don't they have machines for that?
Apparently not since Jack.
Melody and Mallory.
No. Over there. It's the third rail of the triple bar.
My parents go to Saskatoon, and also bring me back as a t-shirt. His aunt goes to Silver France, and she gives him all this stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
So you're gonna give me the jumping lessons after this, right?
No, forget it. You can't ride in here. You'll chew up all the grass and wreck the footing.
So what's the point?
Point? So you can work your butt off and watch Ben and his horse jump over fancy striped poles and cute little flower boxes. Shut up and keep digging.
Okay, cut it out, you two. Look, I know all this is important to you, Ben, but I need to get that cell ready for the pregnant mare.
I told you to get to him.
Well, then do it.
Okay, more like a friend of a friend.
But if we made an exception for every friend of a friend.
I ran into him last week. He asked me on the roundup up at Sheep River.
12 hours in the saddle with your arthritis.
I know. What?
I know that feeling.
It's a done deal.
The arthritis part, I know that feeling.
Just don't expect me to play midwife to a horse.
Newsflash, Lou.
Thanks for helping me out, Jack. No problem. Glad to help.
Did she travel okay, Mr. Phillips?
Kicked around a bit, but Melody's always been a nervous mare.
Was nobody cleaning up for you?
I think gave me the best I do it. Not sure how she'll react to a stranger. Come on, Melody, old girl. Let's get you. Come on, you son of a bitch.
Watch out! She's loose!
Ben is pissed at his aunt because she dumped him there, so sent all that stuff. At least his aunt checks in, though. It may not necessarily be the best, but you know, she checks in, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I like that Ty and Amy are taking shifts watching Melody, that's very sweet. And like I said, Ty kind of acts like he's not that into the horses, but he does obviously care about them because he does go ahead and sit with them and take care of them. And he does also kind of seem to know when a horse is in distress, because he was kind of getting after Ben in an earlier episode about it. I think we're going to see more of Mallory, as she grows up and stuff. I could see her becoming more prominent on the farm. Obviously, she is a bit of a nuisance to her family, so they send her to hang out with them. Because I always think, shouldn't her family be concerned that she's spending so much time there? But no, they obviously don't care. Surprise! So Tim is going to be the trail boss as they go and get the cattle. Interesting. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna make for some fun on the ranch, But yeah, I think at some point Ty will end up having his own cowboy hat. It is nice that he gets to wear one. Jack is gonna allow him to wear it. He says it's my second best hat. So it is nice though that because he could have objected and said no, I don't want him wearing that. So at least he's allowing it, which is good. He's hard on he's hard on Ty, obviously. But I think down deep he likes him. I think he likes him and he thinks he has potential, and so that's why he's hard on him, because he thinks that Ty can be great. He just needs that push, Let's keep going. So he's all scared.
We got rattlesnakes out here?
Some.
I like how Ty was getting all scared, rattlesnakes, coyotes, wolves, kind of like lions and tigers and bears, oh my. That was pretty good. But, I was thinking, wouldn't they notice that they are gone and not there? Which obviously Tim did. And with Tim, they're probably going to make it back tonight. But, Jack was getting all pissed at Ty, and I'm thinking, he was trying to get the calf. So, cut him a break. Were you going to go get it? Just... Again, I think Jack does it because he does like Ty down deep. But it doesn't help when he acts like a jerk, because I don't know that Ty knows that he likes him. I think he thinks he doesn't. So, that might cause an issue with them later. I hope it doesn't, though.
Sugars, get your milk. It's gonna be a long night.
Peppermint tea actually sounds good.
Okay. How's that? Yeah, that's better. If I don't move. I've got sandwiches. I've got...
So now Lou knows that the trail boss was her dad. And obviously, like I said, he's gonna make his way back in eventually. It's just gonna take some time, Jack will probably end up accepting him at some point as time goes on, but yeah, it's just going to take a while. And of course, Melody had her foal, so I wonder what they're gonna name her. I bet we'll find out. If they wanted to kind of keep with music, you got Melody, so maybe they'd do something like, I don't know, I can't even think of anything right now. Let's keep going. Got about 5 minutes left. There.
So you gonna call her?
Daybreak.
I like that.
Wait, let me guess. You break your day?
He wants my cowboy.
Speaking of cowboys,
looks good.
Yeah, it does. Melody and Daybreak. So there's a new foal. They won't be staying at Heartland, obviously, but there's a new foal, and Amy is quite pleased with herself, and so's Lou. You know, that they helped to deliver Daybreak. It's a good name, Daybreak. I like that. And Ty now has his own cowboy hat. You know, he's going to become a real cowboy. And, you know, him commenting about how Amy should go and speak to Tim and everything. And he's right. She should. And she will. I don't know if it'll be this season. I'm guessing by the end of the season they're probably going to meet. But we'll find out. It might not. I don't really have a whole lot to say regarding this episode, you know, because, I mean, it's first season. I'm still learning the characters, learning everything. So there's really not a whole lot that I feel I can say about it. Just that, you know, they sometimes kind of try to make Lou, I think, seem like a bad guy at times, even though she's not. And I don't necessarily mean bad guy as like villain, but, you know, she kept saying, this is why I didn't want a pregnant mayor here and everything. And, you know, it's like, well, the mayor's there. And you're freaking out about having to help deliver it, but you grew up on a ranch. So I'm surprised that you wouldn't be digging right in. But, you know, maybe it's obviously to show the different dynamic between her and Amy, which is my guess. So thank you for joining me for this react for the 7th episode of Heartland. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Obviously, I've got a hell of a lot more of Heartland coming, with there being 15 seasons. Please follow me on Instagram at LazyCatReactions, and you can also follow me on TikTok as well. Please support me on Patreon if you can. I have 4 different levels. You can see that on the screen, and hopefully you can, you know, help me out so I can continue to make these videos. I would love it. Special shout out to my editor, Captain Factory, because if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have these videos the way they are. So thank you so much for all of your hard work. You are a gem. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.